Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. Dairy Care 365 provides training for dairy caretakers who want to keep their livestock safe, productive, and healthy. Visit dairycare365.com.
It's towns, small and large. It's connections and communities. It's farms and cows, grass, sunlight and water. It's producing nutritious milk and dairy products in renewable and sustainable ways. And none of this would be possible without U.S. registered Holsteins, the world's perfect cow, and the people that raise them. This is Holstein America. Hi, I'm Michelle Davidson, and we're coming to you from New Day Dairy in Clarksville, Iowa. And this is the Bolin family, our hosts for the show. Thank you so much for having us at your farm.
You're welcome. We're so glad that you could join us. I'm Lynn. This is my husband, Dan, his parents, Dave and Pam, and our 3 kids.
It is so nice to meet all of you. Hello. And the Bolins have so many exciting things happening here. There are Facebook Lives for kids. Do you like that? Yeah. And they have a robot that does the milking and a guest barn where people can come and experience firsthand all of these beautiful registered Holstein cows.
I'm Dan Bolin, and I farm here at New Day Dairy with my wife Lynn, my parents Pam and Dave Bolin, and our 3 children, Amara, Vance, and Judah.
Dan and Lynn lived in Turkey for a while, and when they were working over there during dairy development near eastern Turkey, they saw these barns with houses built on the end. But when they came back to the dairy, Lynn's grown up in the city. She's like, people would love to see this. So many of the people don't know anything about this.
So we have a guest barn here at the farm, and it's a vacation rental that's right behind us. And families or couples, anyone can come and stay here. And one of the unique features is we have a loft space that looks directly into our dairy barn. There, people can see what the cows are doing 24/7. So whether it's early in the morning, in the middle of the night, you get a little peek and insight into what the cow's life is like.
With the guest barn, we're saying we have this great thing that we experience every day, just being in the natural world, being around these great cows. And so why not share with people and create a little bit of a value exchange? And so yeah, selling experience besides just selling great milk. So the robot, the technology, it's more exciting for guests to see, but it also gives me more flexibility. I can be, during the old typical milking time, I can be doing a Be a Dairy Farmer Challenge tour with guests and answering questions and giving them a great experience of being alongside the cows. So we're just getting that immersive, hands-on experience.
I think dairy farms are really important, and the reason that is we may not employ, tons and tons of people, but we have the feed truck that comes and delivers feed. We have our veterinarians that, we obviously have a close relationship and also live in our community. Our milk truck driver who comes, so there's lots of different people who come and are part of our farm. Our milk is going to be made into cheese. And so that cheese is going far and wide. That Swiss cheese, that cream cheese, it could end up all the way in Korea, yet the dollars from that ends up back here in our community.
I've always enjoyed promotion. I've always liked to talk about what milk does, and but just the fact that really dairy is a very healthy option for us. And in this time when everybody wants things that are fresh and natural, you can't beat milk because the cow makes it for us. It's designed by nature, and because of that, it's designed to give us the nutrients our bodies need in a way our bodies can use them.
When people get to experience firsthand just how well cows are cared for and just how great dairy is, all of a sudden, I think there will be a lot of folks that go home and eat more cheesecake, more ice cream, more yogurt. We'll drink milk at our meals, whatever it is.
Every Friday, we have a Read with the Cows, and we read books live in our Facebook group. And one of the reasons that I think that that is so important is that it's bringing, the farm accessible. It allows us to take that little piece of a story and say, but this is what happens real on our farm with our cows. And it gives people an opportunity to kind of follow along and stay up to date. We get to name calves. I think folks that haven't been to a dairy farm or have experienced what rural life is about, having the opportunity to come, not just escape on a vacation, but really actually enrich your life and your family's life on vacation with an experience that you can bring back to your community and your everyday life is a really important thing to be able to do.
What an incredible story, Dan. And behind us are the stars of the show. And we talk a lot about registered Holsteins. But why Holsteins and why are they registered?
Yes. So why Holsteins? I grew up, we had a mixed herd, but more and more we had Holsteins. And you got to hand it to them. If you want the total pounds of fat, the total pounds of protein, if you want cows that last long, and if you want some options in your sire selection, Holsteins is the way to go. And why registered? I like having information to make management decisions. So when I'm gonna breed a cow, who's her sire? Who's her grandsire? What is this sire's traits? And so even when the classifier comes, it's not that I need the classifier telling me this is what my cow looks like, but I do want the classifier to come because I wanna know the sires of the next generation. Oh, this is the kind of cows they make. I can mate my cows appropriately. So you gotta have information, and registered Holsteins give me that information to make the next generation of great black and white cows.
What is it like for you to have families come here and watch through the window as calves are born?
It's fun. I hope they share in the excitement with me. I'm excited to see her calve in, hopefully a beautiful bold heifer, and hopefully my guests share some of that same excitement that I'll have when that calf is born. And hopefully they've seen the first letter, because then guests get to name a calf that they watch be born.
Funniest names?
Funniest names? We had one named Jughead. Turns out she was a bit stubborn-headed.
And do you have any favorites out there?
I mean, even Vaughn's right down here in the calving pen is one of my favorites. She's an Alpha P and...
But like your kids, they're all your favorites.
They are. I try to have all favorites, but yeah, I could pick a few. Madeline's another one of my favorites.
And they all have their own unique personality, don't they?
They do, yes.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dan. We appreciate it. And our next segment takes us to Kansas, where another registered Holstein breeder is leading the way in protecting the environment and encouraging his community to do the same.
I always tell people I was a journalist by education, and now I'm a dairy farmer by experience. I love being on the farm. This is where I wanted to raise a family. Actually, straight out of school, I was director of public relations for a dairy cooperative in Wisconsin, and did that for a short time. A position at Hoard's Dairyman opened up, what I considered my dream job at the time. And so I went to work for Hoard's and got to work with people like Bill Knox and Gene Meyer, who was probably the best boss I ever had. This dairy at this particular location was started in 1939 by my grandfather, but the real dairy started, especially with the registered Holsteins, in about 1947 when my dad came back from the service. He wanted to come back and, in his words, breed the best herd of Holsteins that he possibly could. When I was a child, this was clear out in the country. And we're now 15 feet from the city limits of Iola, Kansas, which is a town of about 5,200 people. So we try to be really good neighbors. The community is a big part of us, and we're a big part of the community. We try to encourage all of our employees, as well as myself, to be actively involved in anything that goes on that we have an interest in, whether it be Farm City Days or whether it's my latest project of recycling. You know, we realized that after hearing several people talk about not having a recycling program, you know, we started asking questions, well, why don't we? So we just decided to start one. And we started that project about 6 years ago and got real serious about 3 years ago. You know, we try to be good residents of the community. You know, farmers in general are the original recyclers, to be honest about it. You know, I mean, we recycle as much as we can. The manure from the cows goes back into the ground for fertilizer to grow the crops or grow the feed for the people. And, you know, we just recycle everything that we possibly can. And, you know, so this is just another step, I think. And it's something I'm passionate about. Obviously, all the other people that are here helping, they're passionate about it. And, you know, like I say, it just makes you feel good. Our success here at the Strickler Holstein farm really goes back to my dad. You know, he was such a good cowman. But even further, he was a tremendous leader in the dairy industry. Every meeting that Dad would go to, he always had the best interests of dairy farmers in mind. And, you know, it didn't matter whether you milked 20 cows or you milked 2,000 cows. Dad was, you know, he was always looking out for the best of the dairy industry as a whole. The registered animal has been a big part of our operation. If you look at the tags on each of these cows, you'll see the sire of the cow, as well as her number, and the birth date on the cows. And, you know, just having that information has been, we think, a godsend to us. It's helped in our marketing program. We sell large numbers of bulls to other dairymen around the country. And it's extremely important to know what people have used. I pick up a lot of bull buyers every year. And my first question is, what have you used in the past? It's funny looking back on some of the great bulls of the breed, the Black Stars, the Elevations, the Chiefs, you know, and how they did work on each other and how they, you know, sometimes they didn't. But, you know, how would you know that if you didn't have the pedigree to go back on? Well, I think the registered Holstein cow has been one of the best things I think that's ever happened to me. It's opened up opportunities, not only from a merchandising standpoint, but just the chance to travel to 17 foreign countries and judge shows and do seminars. And, you know, I love the cows. Like I say, I'm an animal person, and this is the best animal I can think of to work with.
When we return, we travel to Minnesota and visit a family like the Bolins that's dedicated their life to the iconic black and white cow.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Holstein Association USA's Tag ID program provides a simple, efficient, and cost-effective solution for permanently identifying your animals. Holstein's All-Flex tags are tamper-proof, fade-resistant, and customizable. That's right, ear tags can be printed with custom information for your farm or individual animals. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us to place your order.
Did you know Holstein Association USA offers a wide range of genomic testing options that are convenient, economical, and simple for your herd? In partnership with Zoetis, Holstein offers their line of clarified genomic tests and the online management tool Enlight. Enlight is a comprehensive program designed to help Holstein breeders efficiently manage herd genetics. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us today.
Have you heard? You can purchase Holstein semen directly from breeders through Holstein Marketplace Sires. Featuring member farmers like you, Holstein Marketplace Sires is your destination for purchasing or marketing elite registered Holstein genetics. Solid production, deep pedigrees, high type. The bulls you've been looking for are at Holstein Marketplace Sires. Purchasing is easy. Order online or over the phone, and semen will be shipped directly to you. Holstein Marketplace Sires. Bulls by breeders for breeders.
Holstein America is brought to you by our friends at Merck Animal Health, the makers of Nasalgen, and a leading provider of dairy care solutions. Visit mahcattle.com for support, tips, and products to provide your herd the best possible care.
Welcome back to Holstein America and New Day Dairy in Iowa. With me is Pam Bolin of New Day Dairy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Pam, you spent much of your life sharing dairy's great story with people around the world. And it's amazing how much nutrition is in milk and other delicious dairy products. And it's all made possible by these cows.
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons I've been in the dairy business all these years is I love cows and I love kids, and what a perfect fit. When my boys were growing up, it was all about milk and the 9 essential nutrients, but now today we know there's 13, and there's so much more we know about the positive effects on your immune system. And of course, the standards are still there, the calcium for strong bones, the protein to help you grow, the potassium to help you rehydrate. So it's a story I love to tell, and I just know that school milk is so important to getting kids that nutrition they're not going to find anywhere else.
And with registered Holstein cows.
Of course.
And there are so many dairy products out there as well, so that are nutritious. I mean, a long list.
Yes.
I mean, you've got ice cream, which kids love too.
Yes.
There are lots of different ways to get dairy.
Right, and my grandkids all are yogurt fans. So yogurt in the fridge is a quick snack to again get those nutrients, and for pennies a serving. You know, where else can you do that? What other foods can do that for you?
And kids that grow up on a farm or kids that are in the city, they all can learn about the benefits of dairy.
Exactly. It's there for all of us, and not just kids. At all ages, we need our dairy.
Thank you so much, Pam. We appreciate it. Another family that's working hard to produce nutritious dairy products is the Swinsons of Minnesota. Here's their story.
Our farm was started here in 1857 by Sven Swenson, and he came from Norway, and it's passed down through the generations since then. Sven actually brought the first registered Holsteins in here from Holland in 1885, and most of the animals here are from the original 2 heifers and bull that he brought way back in the 1800s. We believe we're the only herd left that was there when it originated in 1885, and I guess that is an opportunity for us to continue the legacy and keep that going as long as we possibly can.
It was great raising the family on the farm. You always work together, and you always teach them the values of hard work and how that pays off. And it's kind of a relief because, first of all, you know the farm will continue. We know we still have people who are concerned about the way the farm's gonna run. It's been important, and it's always a proud moment when they want to come back.
So I'm the 6th generation along with my husband, David, and we really enjoy being able to work with family. We're really fortunate that 3 generations of us are able to be living and well on the farm. We get to work with our parents on a day-to-day basis. So full-time, I'm an embryo transfer veterinarian, and so I'm licensed in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and so I travel between the 2 states and do embryo transfer on farms. I also do IVF work. Basically, the goals with that are to help bring a value-added service to farms and customers to help them find another revenue source for their farm, help them propagate their genetics on their own farm, including our own, to help make advancements and so the farms can be more profitable, more efficient. So the van is actually a unique setup, so it actually has a mobile lab in it, and that lab meets the guidelines and specifications for biosecurity measurements set forth by different export countries, is used to go on farm so that we can collect those different genetics and get those either cryopreserved or we can transfer them onto farm to further genetic progress on an individual's farm. A lot of the breeders that I work with are registered Holstein breeders because those various genetic markets that exist, a lot of them are requiring that those animals have purebred databases behind them to support the progeny that they'll be receiving. And so having registration papers and having that information on the donors and sires helps with that marketability. Registered cattle, for me, it's what I've grown up in, known. It's given me the pathways to many friendships, been the gateway for my career and our livelihood. And so it seems as though I owe quite a bit to registered Holsteins and the registered cow for basically everything I have and know at this point in my life.
So I think genomics has affected dairy genetics probably more than anything in history almost. It's taken the bottom end and brought it way up and taken the top end and raised it even higher. It's completely shifted the dairy industry as a whole.
When it comes to productivity, they are number one, and I don't know that anybody will ever be able to catch us. As long as we have the genomic information we have today, we'll continue to make even a better cow than we have now.
What keeps me optimistic about the future of the dairy industry is that the people within the dairy industry are still passionate about the dairy industry. I think the main goals are to continue to improve what we're already doing, to become more of an elite genetic herd, and can improve on what's already been done for the past several generations here.
Something I think I'd like consumers to know about dairy farming is how many advancements and how much information we use and how many different professionals we use to achieve our day-to-day goals. We analyze every little bit of information that we can so that we can take care of our animals to the best of our abilities and so that we can produce a high quality and safe and nutritious product for consumers.
Dairies across America are benefiting from Holstein Association USA programs and services, which provide leading genetics and access to opportunities that add value. One of these farms is Steffu Dairy of Nebraska.
I'm John Steffen, fourth generation dairy farmer from Hartington, Nebraska. In 1990, I was destined to be an accountant, and my father was injured in a harvester accident, so I came home to run the dairy farm. My father lived for 30 years with a prosthetic leg and never complained once. He always told me that not only do you want to make tomorrow a better place for yourself, but you make tomorrow a better place for every animal on your farm too. I feel like we've lived that way for the last 30-some years, and I appreciate what I learned as a kid from him. The actual beauty of a Holstein cow is what enticed me to come back. There's no cow in the industry that offers you as much as the Holstein cow, whether it be fertility index, production of protein, fat, productive life. The Holstein cow offers you anything you're looking for. The reason I capitalize on all the programs from Holstein is there's no other breed association out there that offers more for the producer than Holstein Association USA. In our industry today, I feel it's very important to have good legs and good udders, as well as a strong, deep-bodied cow. Holstein Marketplace Sires offers just that, as well as good production, whether it be components or productive life. The marketplace sires are just a good fit for my operation. Over the years, I've used Foghat, Charisma, Rhino, Rip City. I've used nearly every marketplace sire there was. The thing that intrigues me most is these are breeders that have been in the industry. They've stood the test of time, and they have good, deep cow families. I feel that's the most important thing in a breeding program is deep cow families. Conception rates are phenomenal with the marketplace sires. I feel that my conception rate is probably about 10% better with the marketplace sires than it is any other semen that I use currently. As far as the marketplace sires, they're a phone call away. You give them a call and the semen's there at within a couple of days, and I've really been happy with the service. I would certainly recommend other Holstein breeders to use the marketplace sires. I feel that marketplace sires are priced as competitive as any semen in the industry. They offer you the same type as any semen company in the industry. And the marketplace sires are from deep cow families that have been proven and have stood the test of time. I feel that Holstein Association has been one of the pieces of the puzzle that have kept me in business for 31 years on this farm.
When we return, we'll tour the one-of-a-kind guest barn here at New Day Dairy, where guests experience a very unique vacation right here on the farm.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Have you heard? You can purchase Holstein semen directly from breeders through Holstein Marketplace Sires. Featuring member farmers like you, Holstein Marketplace Sires is your destination for purchasing or marketing elite registered Holstein genetics. Solid production, deep pedigrees, high type. The bulls you've been looking for are at Holstein Marketplace Sires. Purchasing is easy. Order online or over the phone, and semen will be shipped directly to you. Holstein Marketplace Sires. Bulls by breeders, for breeders.
Did you know Holstein Association USA offers a wide range of genomic testing options that are convenient, economical, and simple for your herd? In partnership with Zoetis, Holstein offers their line of clarified genomic tests and the online management tool Enlight. Enlight is a comprehensive program designed to help Holstein breeders efficiently manage herd genetics. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us today.
Holstein Association USA's Tag ID program provides a simple, efficient, and cost-effective solution for permanently identifying your animals. Holstein's All-Flex tags are tamper-proof, fade-resistant, and customizable. That's right, ear tags can be printed with custom information for your farm or individual animals. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us to place your order.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. Since 2012, Merck Animal Health has been training dairy caretakers through Dairy Care 365, designed to inspire a culture of care 365 days a year. Visit dairycare365.com.
Welcome back to Holstein America and New Day Dairy in Clarksville, Iowa. And this is the guest barn. Lynn, where on earth did you come up with this idea?
I'm originally not from the farm. I grew up in the city, but I've always been curious and loved learning new things. And I think that's the experience that we provide here for families and guests that come and stay. Is a place that they're not necessarily just escaping their everyday life, but is somewhere that they can come and be enriched and take that back with them to their everyday life.
What kind of reaction do you get from families and kids?
Yes, so when the kids come, I love when kids run out of the door before they give me, an introductory tour out with the cows, and they say, "Did you know that there's toys in there?" And I said, "Yes." So we have toys and books, and then the windows upstairs where families just get to cow gaze 24/7. And that, parents have told me, is so great because the kids are not on a screen, but it keeps them entertained, it keeps them engaged, and they're subtly learning something even though they don't totally realize it.
Do they pick a favorite cow?
Yeah, I would say, there's folks that will pick a favorite cow. There's a few that have extra personality. And so whether we're in the barn or, they're up watching from the windows, there's definitely a few of those that stand out more than another.
Why is ag tourism good for agriculture as a whole?
There are so many people that don't have an opportunity to see the farm up close and personal, but food is what weaves us all together. We all eat, no matter how diverse we are, and so I think having the opportunity to be on the farm, see what a real working farm is like, helps us bring that back to our own lives, no matter where we are.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I imagine there are so many great memories made for families right here. We appreciate it. In our next segment, we'll discover the story of another dedicated registered Holstein breeder.
We produce food in this farm, and we think it's extremely important to have a good image. And whether we're here or on the farm, we try very hard. We try to keep our place very clean and tidy, and because we want the people that work with us to be proud that they work with our operation. When I started out, we did not have registered Holsteins, the first cows I bought, but as we bought cows, we went to state sales or dispersals, and we would buy 2 or 3, and that's how we got started. I believe in the genetics. If anything you're going to do, if you want to be in it a long time, you got to have better genetics and push forward on that. And when Scotty got involved in it, he started registering everything, and we're off to the races.
I think the perfect cow maybe is a little bit bigger than your average farm here. I still like cows with some size. I like substance. Everybody likes cows that make milk and have components, but we still like them to look the part. Everybody, well, we milk a cow, but here we like to take a little bit more pride in that we milk pretty cows. We've paid a lot more attention to health traits and things like cell count and DPR and things like that to advance the herd.
Raising the kids on the farm was great. They all had their own little ideas. Scotty was always about the cows from a real early age, so it's been fun to watch him grow up, and it's been fun watching him get to do what he wants to do.
Well, I guess I'm kind of the herdsman for the dairy. Overlook about 1,400 animals. I do all of the breeding and the herd health things, in charge of all of the treatments, pen moves, as well as bedding free stalls, sand lane, all of the computer work, all the book work. Try to utilize a lot of technology to make things simpler. That way one person can look after 1,400 head. On the show aspect, try to make time for it in the mornings or evenings, before and after chores. When you join 4-H, they kind of want you to pick out an animal, and we had went to a state sale. Really didn't know a whole lot about the registered Holstein or the showing part of it at that point. About 3 years later, I'd go on to join dairy judging and then really enhance my knowledge on that and really hone in on what you're kind of looking for in the show ring.
When we go to the shows, we take care of the animals ourselves. We don't hire fitters. Scotty and does it. My wife helps, my daughter. I like to drive the truck and get us everybody there. So to meet people, to teach ethics and work ethic to my kids about doing things the right way, and We tried to partner them with people who we thought were good in the industry that we respected.
It's been a real treat, I would say, to watch the kids when they started showing. With Scott, watching him show cattle, it makes you smile all the time. He's really good. It's like one unit. It's like he is with the cow to watch them. They move at the same time. It's just been a real joy.
You can have an average heifer, but if you're dedicated to learning the skills to feed the heifer correctly, grow the heifer correctly, to take care of her, you need to make sure you wash her and train her. Knowing how to care for the animals, usually the heifers that you try to take or cows that you take to World Dairy Expo, they aren't your everyday cow that you're going to take care of in the freestall barn.
Iowa has a ton of good Holstein breeders, and when we go to the show, if we can be competitive, we're happy. We try to pride ourselves in having a homebred heifer do our best for us. When I started out, I did not show cattle. My family never did. And when the kids did that, they started at the bottom. They learned on their own, and before they were all done with it, they won all the showmanship classes that they could, and was very proud of that.
Watching him with the cows maybe that's what I work for every day. Maybe that's what makes me run outside every day and makes me tick. Watching him in his element, I think that is probably the top, is to watch my son in his element. It makes me happy. I think being able to work with your family, especially your kids, I think is probably one of the best rewards in life. I wouldn't change that for nothing.
When we return, we'll talk to Dairyman Dan about Rita the robot and travel to Kentucky, where Holstein Association USA is making a critical investment in the future of the dairy industry. But first, this informational segment from Merck Animal Health.
My name is Luis Mendonça. I'm part of the Ruminant Technical Services team with Merck Animal Health. When we're thinking about a healthy start for these calves, there are several areas that we have to think about. Colostrum is one of them, and vaccination is another. In the end of the day, if we're really providing the best management for these baby calves, for the long term for these farms, they're going to be more profitable. First of all, we have to think about colostrum, right? We have to make sure that we're going to be feeding colostrum to these calves as soon as possible, so within the first couple hours after birth. We need to make sure that we're going to have everything clean, all the equipment that we're going to be using to feed colostrum, so we can reduce bacteria exposure to these calves right away. And we have to think about quality, really, really important, because that's going to be providing protection to these calves when their immune system are still maturing. When we think about quality of colostrum, we have to think about dry cows and the vaccination programs that we're going to be implementing, because that's going to be fortifying the colostrum with antibodies so we can provide that protection to the calf. Another area that we can think about is vaccination program for the calves. And intranasal vaccines really is going to provide that extra protection to the calves. We're not going to be interfering with the maternal colostrum from the calves, so that's important to keep in mind. So other areas that we have to think about is really the consistency in feeding strategies. So feeding practice is going to be extremely important when we're thinking about the timing that we're going to be feeding these calves every day, be consistent. Also to think about the temperature that we're going to be delivering the milk, so we don't have as much variation and we can avoid problems by paying attention at that. And one other area that sometimes we overlook is really stockmanship. We have to focus on handling the animals correctly so we can make them healthy and they can perform the best. In Merck Animal Health, we have the Dairy Care 365 program. It's a free program provided online and really reminds people the importance of treating these calves and handling these calves the best way possible. This resource is offered in English and Spanish so we can do the best for our baby calves.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Have you heard? You can purchase Holstein semen directly from breeders through Holstein Marketplace Sires. Featuring member farmers like you, Holstein Marketplace Sires is your destination for purchasing or marketing elite registered Holstein genetics. Solid production, deep pedigrees, high type. The bulls you've been looking for are at Holstein Marketplace Sires. Purchasing is easy. Order online or over the phone, and semen will be shipped directly to you. Holstein Marketplace Sires. Bulls by breeders, for breeders.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. Dairy Care 365 provides training for dairy caretakers who want to keep their livestock safe, productive, and healthy. Visit dairycare365.com.
Welcome back to Holstein America. Technology is changing the way we raise food, and that's really happening right here at New Day Dairy. Behind us as well, Rita the robot, and Rita milks cows 24 hours a day. Now, Dan, tell me about how Rita works and how she's changed your dairy.
Yes, so 6 years ago when we started up, I made the commitment to go automated milking, and we affectionately named our automated milking system Rita the robot. And she's great. She does her job consistently, reliably, again and again. So she makes it better for the cows and better for me. So I'm no longer doing this menial task that has to be done again and again and again, or trying to hire someone for that task. And I'm free to care for my cows better, and I'm also free to be more involved in my children's activities that might happen in the typical milking time slot. So Rita has been wonderful for us.
So it's great for flexibility and it's great for the cows.
Absolutely.
And then in terms of technology, how has it changed the way that you dairy?
So the other thing that Rita does for me is, we used to milk in a parlor with weight jars. Rita's memory is way better than mine. So I could have taken milk weights of every cow, but now Rita, every milking, every visit, every cow, plus the activity monitoring, every time a cow is in heat and it's estrus time to breed, she tells me. I have more information some days than I think I need, but it's all there and helps me manage my herd very well.
Thanks so much, and thanks so much, Rita. Technology like this is good for people and good for cows. That's why Holstein Association USA recently created the Smart Holstein Lab at Western Kentucky University. We learn more in this report from Miles Ramsey.
The dairy innovations of tomorrow begin today at the Smart Holstein Lab. It's a collaborative effort between the world's largest dairy cattle breed association and Western Kentucky University, with support from the Kentucky Agricultural Development Fund.
We are going to be the test site for the Holstein Association. Currently it's the only one in the United States. And so we're going to be working hand in hand with this herd and with the analytics, the genetics, the technology that goes into what we're going to see in future dairies in the United States.
Part of what I envision our role here is that we help dairy producers around the country understand what works on farm and maybe what doesn't work on farm.
The Smart Holstein Lab is a research, development, and demonstration center for the dairy industry, where Bewley says they are installing technology and recruiting animals to join their Send a Holstein to College program.
This is our effort to try to raise the bar a little bit genetically and try to get as much genetic representation of the best genetics that the Holstein breed has to offer from around the country. So we've launched this in hopes that we will have some animals donated to be part of this exciting effort, to help form the foundation for this investment into the future of the Holstein industry.
The Smart Holstein Lab will be a testing ground for things like wearable sensors, milk-based biomarkers, and other technologies to collect novel phenotypic data. The goal is to experiment with new opportunities and fine-tune technology so it becomes practical and easy to implement on the farm. A number of precision technology companies have already agreed to participate in the Smart Holstein Lab, and they will continue to find ways to engage with industry partners.
I hope that more people use this as their place, their laboratory, their classroom to explore a new technology. So I hope that other companies, startups that come along, or established companies that say, we want a place where we can explore how to use this technology, they come to us.
All animals within the nucleus herd will be genomic tested and will rely on Holstein Association USA's suite of programs to meet its goals, including Multimate, Holstein Complete, and reports from Agritech Analytics.
In my mind, there's never been a more exciting time to be involved in dairy cattle breeding, because we have so many tools available to us to try to select the particular type of animal that whatever breeder wants. And every breeder has a little bit different goals. That's great. And I think that just makes everybody's lives easier and makes the cow's life easier if we have that type of an animal.
For Holstein America, I'm Miles Ramsey.
Thanks, Miles. Holstein America will be back right after these messages.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Holstein Association USA's Tag ID program provides a simple, efficient, and cost-effective solution for permanently identifying your animals. Holstein's All-Flex tags are tamper-proof, fade-resistant, and customizable. That's right, ear tags can be printed with custom information for your farm or individual animals. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more, or contact us to place your order.
Did you know Holstein Association USA offers a wide range of genomic testing options that are convenient, economical, and simple for your herd? In partnership with Zoetis, Holstein offers their line of clarified genomic tests and the online management tool Enlight. Enlight is a comprehensive program designed to help Holstein breeders efficiently manage herd genetics. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us today.
Have you heard? You can purchase Holstein semen directly from breeders through Holstein Marketplace Sires. Featuring member farmers like you, Holstein Marketplace Sires is your destination for purchasing or marketing elite registered Holstein genetics. Solid production, deep pedigrees, high type. The bulls you've been looking for are at Holstein Marketplace Sires. Purchasing is easy. Order online or over the phone, and semen will be shipped directly to you. Holstein Marketplace Sires. Bulls by breeders, for breeders.
Holstein America is brought to you by our friends at Merck Animal Health, the makers of Nasalgen, and a leading provider of dairy care solutions. Visit mahcattle.com for support, tips, and products to provide your herd the best possible care.
Welcome back to Holstein America, and we're continuing our tour of New Day Dairy, one of thousands of registered Holstein dairy farms across the country. Now, Lynn, you have hundreds of guests that come here each year, and you want to teach them about what happens on a dairy farm. What do you think they're learning about dairying?
They learn all sorts of things about dairy. One of our guests once said, "I will never say that he is just a dairy farmer again." So we cover everything from the science of genetics to growing crops and fertilizer. There's so many different pieces that go into what happens on the farm, and I think overall they see how hard dairy farmers here that Dan works, but also across the country, caring for their cows and ultimately caring for the consumers that are going to be drinking that milk, eating that yogurt, that ice cream each day.
Do they appreciate that ice cream more now that they know where it comes from?
I think they do, yes. It brings that piece back into your everyday life and has a little piece in your memory about where that started.
Yes, and you guys have a wonderful family, 3 kids that you're watching them grow up in the dairy industry. What is it like for you to work with your kids and then be investing in the next generation of dairy farmers?
Yeah, I love it. I loved growing up as a kid on a dairy farm. following in dad and mom's footsteps and working with my brothers and mom and dad and playing. And so it's fun to have that same rhythm of just this whole life. And so the kids get to be here with me, pushing up feed to the cows, feeding the cows, fetching cows, feeding the calves. It's just lots of quantity time of love and work and play all together.
Do you ever have times where you're like, my kids know more than I do?
Not yet, not yet.
You'll get
Not
there,
yet.
baby. Thank you so much. And we conclude our program with a trip to Kansas and the story of a family like the Bolins who love their registered Holsteins and contributing to their community.
I started dairying back in 1968, and I was in dairy until about 23 years ago when I sold the last cows I had to my sons. So I've dairied my whole life. Grew up dairying with my dad, so it's just been a big part of our life. Well, two older boys wanted to get in the operation. And you know, when you work your whole life to build up an operation, you just hate to say, well, I'm just going to have a sale and walk away from it all. You're just glad to see someone in your family willing to take over.
We've had registered Holsteins forever. My grandpa did. The first registered calf I bought, I paid $450 for my grandpa, and I thought that was a lot of money at the time. It took me all summer to work off to pay for that calf. Just ever since then, we've just kind of gravitated our herd towards registered Holsteins. And I would say in the last 20, 25 years, every animal is registered.
I think the secret to our success has been the cows. Over the long haul, they've paid the way.
We milk about 280 cows, raise all our own grain, raise most of our hay, cut all our own silage, build all our own sheds, do everything on our own, basically.
We do a lot of farming as well as part of dairying. I have a calf barn. We feed about roughly 50 calves, milk replacer twice a day.
Sometimes when they're little, they think that maybe what Dad made them do wasn't the best thing in the world, but it's good because they all have responsibilities. Every kid can go out and drive a tractor. Every kid knows how to mow the yard, weed eat, fix something.
I mean, obviously it's a job and it's hard work. We're out here 12, 14 hours a day, you know, we're always doing stuff, but if I gotta go to a doctor or go somewhere, I can just tell everybody, like, hey, I'm gonna be gone this time, and I can leave and people fill in.
I've always fed the calves whenever they're little, so that's always been my job whenever I've grown up.
You got to know everything on the farm. It's not just one thing you got to do. And like being a quarterback on the football team, you have to know what every position does, because if somebody forgets their assignment, you got to let them know. And that's what it's like here on the farm, like that. If you don't know your assignment, someone's going to help you do it, or you're going to help them do it.
It's important to do stuff outside of your job so that you have, you know, a little break, a little relaxation and downtime. Roy has coached baseball for our kids since Christian was 5. So for the last 20 years, he's been coaching baseball, and I do the book.
When we were kids, we played baseball. I mean, my dad liked baseball, my dad coached. And if you're playing baseball, you didn't have to throw hay and you didn't have to cut weeds and things like that, and it was fun. You got to be around your friends.
We have 6 children: Christian, Colton, Marina, Quinn, Aspen, and Blaze.
In school, I do pretty much every sport that is offered. So I do volleyball, basketball, track, cross country, cheer, softball in the summers. I like to involve myself in a lot of things.
I do track, which I'm bad distance or short distance, basketball, baseball, football.
Volleyball, basketball, track, softball. I did competitive cheerleading.
In high school, I was involved in everything. Now, I mean, we play softball in the summertime, we play co-ed, slow pitch, play basketball Wednesday nights.
I play quarterback for Highland Community College, and working on the dairy farm and in high school, it really translated over to help me to get the team to come together, and it really established that team aspect there.
Everybody's got something they like to do. Some guys like to fish, some like to hunt, some like to play baseball. You find your passion and do it, you know, that's what I think. You know, why do I milk cows? I mean, it's one of those things. I guess you enjoy it. It's a way of life. I kind of get to do what I want to do. I don't have to come in and coach baseball. I could sit home and watch TV, but this is more rewarding than that.
Just being around nature is wonderful for raising your children out your own farm. And everything is growing and the family working together. There's nothing better.
Holstein America is the only nationally televised program about the U.S. dairy industry, and we're proud we're reaching thousands of people around the world with this important story. Thanks again to New Day Dairy for allowing us to come and see your incredible farm. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. The dairy industry is one of the most diverse and interesting sectors in all of agriculture, thanks in large part to the Holstein cow. So take a few minutes today to celebrate it with a cold glass of milk because it'll do a body good. To learn more, visit HolsteinUSA.com. On behalf of America's registered Holstein breeders, thanks for watching Holstein America. I'm Michelle Davidson. See you next time.